welcome back to Jake's Journey, mate. And if you haven't been here before, my name is Jake, and what I'm talking about today is this, my Atom Packs, the Atom. And this bag is a 35 litre day sack weighing 435 grams. That is going to be carrying my 3.7 kilo or 8 pound base weight for the next 630 miles on the southwest coast path. So basically, over the next 5 weeks, it's going to be me, 630 miles, and this 3.7 kilo or 8 pound backpack. Let's have a look what's inside. So straight away, I want to talk about the bag itself. And this bag is from Atom Packs. Now, they don't come as standard from Atom Packs like this. This is actually a custom pack from them. And you can go onto their website and you can design it yourself, choosing different colours, different add-on pouches, the colour of the side pouches, the different colours of these straps that you see here sat on the front. And you can really customise it to your specific design, which is what I really liked about Atom Packs. When I'm not on trail, I live in my self-converted camper van, and the reason that I live in a self-converted one is because I wanted to choose the specification that I built it to, because I wanted to make it personal to me, and that's exactly what I got to do with this home as well. And it's the biggest through hike that I've ever attempted, and actually with the smallest pack and the lightest weight that I've ever attempted. I'm trying out a few new things, like cold soaking my food, but I'll get onto that later, and I'm going to be tarp camping along this route. But the bag itself, one of the features that I love about this pack is the stretchy material that sits on the back of it here. You can tuck your food down into it, any waterproof clothing, extra bits and knickknacks that you want to take off during the day. As you can see, I've got my sunglasses strapped on it here. Also, if you move down, you can see this cordage that goes on the back. It's just elastic that you can hook anything through, like socks or towels that you want to dry en route. Another great feature is that the stretch material heads down onto the bottom as well. You can access it from this side and throw your rubbish in there, or as you're moving along while walking, there's a little cut off corner here that you can stuff your litter, your little packets of Kit Kats and whatever into there, so you're not dropping litter en route. Now the bag itself is 35 litre. You can choose from 30 litre, 35 litre or 40 litre with the Atom Custom. Well, it is 35 litre between the main compartment and these side pouches. So these side pouches are actually 2.5 litres each on each side, so that's your 5 litres, and then your main compartment is 30 litres. The actual 35 litres of the bag doesn't account for the stretch fabric on the back and on the bottom, so you have got some extra there to play with. So I came from a 48 litre backpack from my previous through hikes, and I never seemed to fill it. There was always space left in there. So now I've got a pack that actually suits the size that I need, and that's a tip that I'd give to anyone. If you are going to get into backpacking, I'd buy all your gear first, and the last thing that you should buy is your backpack. So at least then you know what literage you require, because you're going to know the amount of gear that you need to put inside it. Let's have a look inside. As you can see, the top of the bag here, there's a strap over the top, which you can change the length of, so you can either put stuff from the inside of your bag, if it's not raining, on the outside, so you can fit more food storage inside, or if you're in America and there's a bear threat, or anywhere around the world and there's a bear threat, you can also put a bear can underneath here. The backpack itself unclips like a dry sack and then unrolls, and there's 2 press studs at the top of it to close it nicely. Now the material that the pack is built out of is waterproof, but the seams on the inside aren't taped. But I'll talk about how I waterproof my gear with inside the pack at a later date. First things first, in the top of my pack, straight away, I've got my waterproofs. I've got a waterproof jacket, which is a Montane podium jacket, and it's actually a smock. It only zips halfway up, and it's ultra lightweight, pretty much see-through, and this is a trail running jacket, and that weighs in at 110 grams. And then on the bottom half, I've got the matching podium pants, and these act as my insulative trousers to keep me warm. They're also my waterproof trousers, and they're also a good wind resistant layer, the same as the jacket, and they weigh 100 grams. Next up, I've got my shelter, which is a Gossamer Gear solo tarp. I'm absolutely in love with this tarp and the way that it goes up, because every single piece of cord that comes on this tarp is actually got a cinch point on it, so you can set the tarp up pretty loose and then cinch it to the specification that you want, which makes it easier to drop it to the ground, get a low profile if the unfortunate weather comes in the night. And I've got my pegs in there as well. I've got 8 pegs in there. I've also got a fire blanket, which is cut for me to sleep on if I'm in wet grass and stuff like that, just to stop my sleeping system getting wet. I'll leave the weight of all 3 components that live within this bag on the screen there. My toilet bag. And what we have here at the minute is just 2 packs of tissues. Now, I don't claim these in the base weight because this stuff in here is mainly consumables. This is stuff that's going to fluctuate, go up, go down throughout the hike, and it's not a part of the base weight, but it'll be a part of the full pack weight that I weighed before I came out here. So I've got toilet paper, which those are just tissues for your nose, but I'll change those and grab whatever toilet paper that I can when I'm en route, going to a pub, use their loo. I always feel bad about not getting a drink, so I usually get like a glass of Coke or something, just to boost yourself with caffeine and sugar, and yeah, take a dump. Paracetamol, just in case you get yourself between a rock and a hard place and you need to walk some extra miles before you get back into society. I also carry antihistamines as well, but I'll be restocking up on those before I leave on trail, just because I get quite bad hay fever. Sun lotion, sunscreen, whatever you want to call it, this stuff is going to be a send because it is going to be very warm, very hot on the Southwest Coast Path. I did a section of the Southwest Coast Path for 105 miles on the Jurassic Coast in 2020, and it was a heat wave and it was 38 degrees and I burnt pretty savagely, so I will not be making that mistake again. Vaseline is a lifesaver, especially if there becomes a wet period. It's going to look after your feet by getting layers on it and layers on it time after time, and it's also going to help prevent blisters. You can also use this for your lips as well, but I prefer just direct contact with one of these on your lips to stop yourself putting any nasties in your mouth. And that's just a Burt's Bees nice smelling chapstick. That's enough to say about that. I've then got a mini Bic lighter, and that is just in case I need to set fire to my waterproofs in order to call for a ship to get me off this godforsaken spit of land. Just kidding. You never know when you're going to need to make a fire, or I don't know. You can use your imagination for that one. I've then got these, and these are just add water and they turn into a little micro disposable flannel, and they're great just after a warm day of hiking and sweating and you want to wash and feel good. So yeah, they'll get used, and when they get used up, which will probably be after 2 days, I'll just get a small Bubba pack of baby wipes to replace those because they're hard to come by in your local supermarkets. Toothpaste and a toothbrush. This is just a little bamboo toothbrush that is cut in half, and then a little Bubba toothpaste. I'm actually replacing this with toothpaste pills just so you can put one in, not really use any water as much, and you can chew them if you don't want to use your brush. And last but not least, I've got my eye drops. I've just got those just in case because, like I said, I suffer from hay fever and I can get dodgy eyes sometimes, so I've got that just to be safe. Now that is that out of the way. Next up is my electrics bag. Everything that I need to keep myself, well, let's say I wouldn't be carrying this much if it wasn't for me carrying the camera and being a dirty YouTubing, Instagramming mess. So the first thing we have in here is my power bank, and it is a 22,400 milliamp hour battery bank off Amazon about 5 years ago. It definitely doesn't work as well as it used to, but I can charge my phone on this probably for about 4 days, and it's great because I use my phone a lot on trail. I use it for listening to podcasts, listening to music, and mainly for navigation and calling my nan. Charging that baby. Now, it's very important on trail to be able to charge stuff as quick as possible. You rock up to a coffee shop, you want to make sure that as soon as you get there, you've got your stuff plugged in and on charge, and it's charging quickly. So I've got this little micro fit together multi-universal charger and this 65 watt U-Green charging port. Now, USB-C charges quicker than conventional USB. So what we've got here is this little cable. It's USB normal, which you can chuck into there, or to charge faster, you've got USB-C on the end there. Let's undo that again. And then the other side, it's iPhone charging, but inside it, it's micro USB, which is awesome. I've never seen that before. And then you unclip that and it's USB again. So you can go USB to USB-C or USB to USB micro to charge this bad boy. I've then also got an extra micro USB to charge my camera at the same time as charging my power bank while in a coffee shop or something like that. I've then also got a longer iPhone cord because there is nothing more annoying than trying to charge your iPhone on something that small when you're sat somewhere and everyone thinks you're weird because you're not on your phone, because today's society is very strange. Anyway, and I digress. A spare battery for my Sony ZV-1, which is what I'm shooting on right now. That thing is amazing. I love the photos from it, I love the picture from it, and that is the camera that I take on trail to get my photos, get my video, and make my YouTube videos. So 2 batteries for that can be charged in camera off the power bank. I also keep some other knickknacks in here, which is a little pair of nail clippers. the spare bottle lid for one of my water bottles because it's currently got my water filter sat on top of it, and if that is to come off then I want to use the bottle lid. Always take cash because cash is king and you never know when you might need it. I've got my bank card and my driver's license just in case my phone dies and then I can get out of Dodge. Also, I didn't take my ID once because I thought, yeah, I won't need it. I then tried to book into a hostel and they were like, where's your ID? You need one. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go and sleep in a bush. Earplugs because you don't want a night's sleep ruined, sleeping in a wood block if there is some foxes screaming their heads off. Or if you do stay in a hostel, you don't want to have to be listening to some randomer snoring after you've walked 25 miles that day. There's also a safety pin, and that is for popping any blisters that you may occur en route. You will. This, I think it's Super Bowl, which is a soup company, and I just took the wrapper off after demolishing the soup, and I'm going to be using this as my cold soaking pot. So I'm not taking a conventional stove, gas and fire pot to cook meals as of an evening. Anything that I get en route, I'll try and do it dry. I'll try and eat in pubs and stuff like that along route, and if I need to, I can do ramen, noodles, rice, couscous, pasta, all that sort of good stuff in here, and you're good to go. You can also do overnight oats, which are very lovely to wake up to, and that's what I will probably be doing on trail for breakfast. Now, let me further endeavour into the bag of goodies, and we are on to clothing. Now, first layer of clothing to come out is my beloved yellow mountain equipment little fleece with a nice little tight hood, and it's just a lightweight snuggle up hoodie jumper. It's just got a little pocket on the front. It's by Mountain Equipment. I'll drop the name and weight of that here now. I love this thing. It is amazing. I sleep in that if it's a little bit colder. And then next on the list, what have we got here? I just throw all this into the bag, but I'll explain what that is in a minute. I've got a spare pair of socks, and these are super short ones by Darn Tough, because Darn Tough are the one and only in this game, because they are seriously darn tough, and they've got a lifetime warranty. If you send them back to Darn Tough because they've got a hole in or something like that, they will replace them for you free of charge. And I've got the exact same pair on right now as this, so I just take 2 pairs of socks, one wearing, one in the bag. Next, I've got a midge net, which in conjunction with your cap, you can put it on your head and the midgies can't get to you. Now this one's green, so you can't see out of it the best, but it is very thin for UK midgies, not just mosquitoes, so they can't get in, which is great. And you might need to sleep on that some nights, because some nights it might be rather midgy. Moving on, here I have my puffy jacket, which is a Patagonia something. I'll put it on screen here with the weight and what it is called, and it's just got a zip, like 3/4 length zip, and this thing is very comfy, very lightweight, and it's got a little pocket here, and I like the colour. But what I do if it is not too cold, then I don't wear it in my sleeping bag, and I stuff it inside this head net and use it as a pillow, which is great because I don't have a pillow and it's a luxury. But that's the reality. You've got to have stuff that's multifunctional, and that's exactly that. I've then got my buff. My buff is great. I can use this as a little towel if I'm going to go for a dunk in the seaside. It can also go over your face and be used as a COVID resistant mask, even though that's not even a thing anymore, because yeah, what happened there? Last time I went on this trail, it was 2020. Rise to the plenty. We had just come out of the first lockdown. But yeah, this thing is great. You can put it on your wrist. You can use it as a like a sweat rag. You can put it on your head and fill it with water, so it's going to keep you cool. My personal favourite is put it over your eyes, so when it's like bearing heat in the early hours of the morning, like it is now at 04 AM, because it is summer solstice tomorrow, it keeps the sun out of your eyes, which is great. And then I've got my only spare bit of clothing, as well as my socks, which is a little t-shirt, and this is just an ultralight little t-shirt, which is nice to sleep in, or if I decide that there's a cloudy, hot day where I don't want to wear the Rab Force hoodie, sun hoodie that I'm wearing now to protect me from the sun, I can chuck on a t-shirt, and this is the Force hoodie, like I say, from Rab. I'll put the info on there for this stuff. Shorts wise, actually, I'll run through those now. These are the New Balance 3-inch inseam shorts. Yes, they are very short, I've been made aware of it, but they're also very lightweight, and they double up as my swimming trunks on trail, so I want them to dry very quickly, otherwise I'm going to get chafing in places I don't want chafing. Here we go, we are on to my sleeping bag, which is very nice and warm, and it only weighs 550 grams, and it is by Mountain Equipment, and it is the Mountain Equipment Firefly, I believe. Information there. I love this bag. I've only spent a few nights out in it, but so far it's the favourite bag I've ever had, mainly because it's so lightweight, so comfortable, feels really silky, and the fit's really nice on it. So yeah, I was trying to go for a quilt, but this came up at the right price because I got a freaking lovely discount on it, so I bagged that straight away. I wasn't by Mountain Equipment, by the way. I just managed to have a friend sort them out with a very handsome discount code. And all of that stuff was inside this. Shout out Lidl, because one, I always eat their pastries, two, their Bag for Lifes are brilliant waterproof dry sacks. So all I do is this fits down perfectly into my 35 litre. I then shove all my gear into it, I scrunch it up at the top, push all the gear down, twist it and roll it over itself and push it down the side of the bag, and then you've just got a big waterproof bag for whatever they are, 10 pence. Perfect. And then down the back of my pack, to provide the back of the pack with some stability and a bit of comfort when you're hiking on the trail, is my foam roll mat. And this is just a foam thinny, people call them, and it's basically, it's a bit fancier than normal. This one, blue one side, silver back the other, so it's got that reflective stuff going on. But yeah, basically this thing I've cut down slightly, so it's like 1 metre 30, and it actually it came from Wilkinson's or Wilco about 10 years ago for a £5, and I've still got it because I never used it, and now it's getting some miles on it. I've done about 380 miles on this mat so far this year, so yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, it's not for everyone, it's very thin, they're not the most comfortable, but I feel like after night 3 on trail anyway, you start to just get into the groove of it, and you're just like, I don't care, I'm going to sleep. So, let's see what else we've got in the bag. Now, I probably made the mistake before coming out in this video, because I'm actually, this is pretty impromptu, this vid. I came out here to do a little pre-hike, just to test my pack and see how I was feeling with it. And yeah, I decided to just get the camera out and film this video. So there you go. So the main compartment is empty now. In the side pouch on the one side, I have got a I don't know how to say that, but it seems to be the go-to for the UK hiking community, and it's just a plastic water bottle, like BCA free or whatever all that stuff is, and I've got, again, about 380 miles on this bottle. So to those that say that you shouldn't use plastic bottles because you're going to throw them away and it's bad for the environment, I've used this for a very, very long time, and I will recycle it when I'm done with it. I actually grabbed a little squirty top for it, so you can just like that, rather than having to unscrew it on trail, because that does my head in. So I've got one of those in that side, and then accompanying it, I've got these bad boys, which are the, get out of there, the Fezan Compact, and these weigh 158 grams each, and they're classed as the world's lightest apparently. I love these poles, they're great, they're super light, you don't know they're there. I don't massively use my poles all the time, but they're classed as worn weight instead of pack weight. They're handy for gnarlier sections, any river crossings, stuff like that. Not that there's going to be any river crossings on this one, and they support my tarp to keep my shelter up above my head at night, so that's good. We've then got the other side, which has got another one of those bottles in, giving me 2 litres of water capacity, and my poop shovel to dig your poo in, because no one wants to see poo on trail. And yeah, that's enough about that. You get the picture. Dig your poo in, don't leave it behind. Sunshades, which are Moken somethings. I don't know. I'll drop the website below to all this gear anyway, and you can check them out. And yeah, I'll drop the weight of those as well. Next, my little fork. My fork is a wild camping one. It's called Wild Camping, and it's just a little titanium spork with a long handle, so you can get down into your little pot without getting your little fingers all grubby and dirty. good to go. In here as well, I've also got my hip belt for this pack. Now, I don't know whether to take this yet, because I'm also thinking about maybe adding a little hydration bladder. Not heavy, weighs about 20 grams. It's just the one that comes with my water filter, and it's a little pouch that you can just leave inside your bag, and it gives me an extra 1.5 litres if it is that I need it, because it's going to be very hot down there. And then I think if I'm adding that extra weight, do I need to take my hip belt just to take off a little bit of the pressure? But I'm undecided on that yet. We will see. And the rest of the stuff in here now is just food. You got nuts, you got Cliff bars, you got adventure meals, expedition foods they are. You've then got some electrolyte replacement tablets, and I just chuck those in my water once a day at about noon. And then I've got this little baby, which is just a little foam kitchen wipe down foam pad thing. And I use this on my tent because I get a bit of condensation on the end of my tent some days, so I'd use this just to wipe it down. I may not take this because it seems unnecessary now that I'm using a tarp, but it is good to wipe stuff down if it does become a drama. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not it. On this side, on the front straps that go over your shoulders, I love this design. It is amazing. They're both stretchy. You can actually fit small water bottles in these. And on this side, I have my earphones because you got to get them tunes on. I've got my Petzl Bindi, I believe it's called. And this is just my little head torch. This thing's great, lights up really well. It's got a little green light on it that doesn't turn off for a while, so you can find it if you drop it. It's just got a little string around to put on your head. That thing's great, love it. And it's battery USB-C chargeable as well, so you don't need to worry about taking extra batteries. My phone is the iPhone 12 mini, ultralight and that, with a quad lock case on. Yeah, not the best battery life, but it is pretty lightweight. And again, on this side, I've then got my van keys, which, yeah, there you go. And that is the pack complete. And she is an absolute bubba of a pack, and I don't know how it carries all this gear and is so strong and perfect, but look at that. What an awesome pack. What an awesome bit of gear. I'm so excited to get out on trail. As you'll have seen from previous videos, my gear list for 2023, that this is has now changed because I've had different bags, different sleeping bags, and I've just changed a few bits. But I'm really looking forward to giving this full setup a pasting through on the 630 miles that it's got ahead. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait for it, and look forward to the videos to come. And thank you so much for all sticking in there, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you want to know as soon as I upload another video. And yeah, peace out. I'll drop everything below that you need to know and want to see, with weights and stuff next to it and all that nerd stuff. Peace out. See ya later.